I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go from New Hampshire. Cody the Dominator Burke and Joshua Nichols on the front row. Richie Joplin, Patrick Pieper on the second row. Ryan Philbrick, Matthew Logan on the third row. Alex Harper, Mark Dan Tumai the fourth row. Austin Ruskoff and Devin McDonald rounding out the top 10. Tyler Thomas starting in 11th, next to Cody Kennedy in 12th. Kirk Marble in 13th, Chad Ragsdale in 14th. Scott Roney and Richie Ragsdale 15th and 16th. Ryan McDaniel and Joshua Rudolph 17th and 18th. Kirk Marble in 19th. Brian Hewitt starts 20th. CJ Jeffries and Nicholas Johnson round out the 22-car field here tonight. Everybody getting stacked up on the start-finish line. New Hampshire just a hair over a mile and very, very flat. Air temperature currently 67, but the track temperature up to 108 degrees. It's going to get hot and slick fast. Looks like all the drivers are on the grid and the pace car is rolling. And Dylan Schreiner, who is locked into the playoffs, into the next round, he is not in the car tonight. Cody Burke could reclaim the points lead after tonight's race. Hey, good evening, Tina. All right, here they come through 3 and 4. Pace car about to drop in. The pace car dives in, and the green flag flies. We are underway at New Hampshire. The first elimination race of the playoffs begins, and it begins with John Nichols. Wow. It looked like Nichols was going to take the lead. Just pushed it a little too hard, coming out of turn 2. This track is one that the high line is strong, but a lot of drivers will be looking for that balance in the middle. Cody Burke has John Nichols right on his bumper. Pieper now up into third. Oh, Kirk Marble is loose in it too. Looks like Richie Ragsdale was as well. Fortunately, everybody holds on. Oh, we've got one hard in the outside wall, one in the inside wall. Caution. Our first caution of the night. Kirk Marble is also stopped down to the inside. See if we can figure out who was involved here. Taking a look at Cody Kennedy there on the high side. Chad Ragsdale down underneath as they come out. And Tyler Thomas slams the wall out of turn 4, collects Cody. Taking a look from another angle here. Tyler just ahead of Cody. Tyler gets loose, bounces off Kirk, comes down, collects Cody. Both drivers picking up some damage here early. And about the back, little over a third of the field coming in to top off on fuel. Cody Kennedy has got the hood fixed. He is back out. Tyler Thomas managed to make his pit stop. He lost a little ground, and it does look like he is going to the tail. Cody Burke, John Nichols, Patrick Pieper, Richie Joplin, Matthew Logan, your top 5. Ryan Philbrick, Alex Harper, Devin McDonald, Brian Hewitt, and Nicholas Johnson rounding out the top 10. And no surprise, Austin Ruskoff, he is in to top off on fuel. As everybody stacks up, it looks like Joshua Rudolph may have taken 4 tires. Will Rudolph, back in 18th, with 4 fresh Goodyears, be able to march forward? Remember, this is a flat track. Those right side tires wear out quickly. Even 5-lap fresher tires could make a huge difference. Pace car dives back to pit road. And the green flag flies again. This time Cody Burke gets the run, takes the lead, as we've got someone, whoa! Matthew Logan was way out of shape, coming through 1 and 2. Now keep an eye on that car with the 56. The green flag flies and they send it. Looks like somebody had a problem back behind, but look at that. Matthew Logan completely sideways. Well, it has not been boring. What a wild start to the night. Now we've got a battle on for the lead. John Nichols practically on the apron. Top 2 have broken away. Patrick Pieper in 3rd, over 1 1/4 seconds back. As Devin McDonald is on the move underneath Richie Joplin. Flat track's definitely a whole different animal. Everything about it, you have to drive it differently. You have to adjust your entry and exit. Sometimes you're even shifting gears. Some guys are just exceptionally good at flat tracks, and some, like me, just aren't. As John Nichols battles for the lead, and they were making contact down the front stretch. John is pushing it, kisses the wall at a 2, but keeps his foot in it. Now Cody back to the inside. This mail out Patrick Pieper, Ryan Philbrick, and Devin McDonald to close back up. Joshua Rudolph comes in tonight, 6th in points. And the caution is back out. Devin McDonald involved. John Nichols, our new leader, is actually not in playoff contention. He is just looking for victory lane tonight. Devin comes out of turn 2. Looks like contact with Richie Joplin. Wow. All right, looking down from the chopper. Richie gets the run out. Pushes up as Devin came down just a hair. How Devin kept that out of the wall, I'll never know. What a save. Several cars, in fact, about half the field. Everybody from 10th on back is in. "15 laps in, but 2 cautions will extend the fuel window. Drivers looking at 34 to 36 laps on a tank of fuel here tonight. So if it were to stay green, it would be a 2-stop race. However, it has gotten a little bumpy here in the early going. Everybody stacks back up for the restart. Cody Burke will now have the advantage on the outside on the restart. And no surprise, Austin Roscoff did come in and top off. Tina, I'm not going to say his name, but he's currently in 10th. All right, here they come, out of turn 4. Pace car runs back to pit road. Here they come. The green flag flies again. And John Nichols launches it out front. He's going to hold on to the lead. Meanwhile, everybody back behind fighting for every inch of track. Have a good night, Brandon. Battle is on for third. Ryan Philbrick, Patrick Pieper were battling through 3 and 4. Philbrick takes it. And we've already got 3 wide back behind. Cody Kennedy and Mark D'Antuma went to opposite sides of Ryan McDaniel. Cody involved in that first incident, heavily damaged, already back up to 12. Tomorrow night, Jones BS Racing is back, Brandon. John Nichols out front, Cody Burke in second, Ryan Philbrick currently in third. As the drivers begin to settle in up at the front, you'll definitely be able to tell the drivers who conserved early, they will be marching late in this one. Cody Kennedy battling with Brian Hewitt, and we've got one getting loose behind. Ryan McDaniel, I don't think he got loose. I think he shot underneath to make a move. Oh, they barely missed Ryan's bumper. Caution is out. Wow. Tomorrow night's races will be at 7:30 Eastern, Brandon. All right, let's take a look at this. There's Tyler Thomas right behind. Remember, he's already had one problem tonight. Looks like the car got loose. He tried to save it and collect Scott Roney in the process. Looking down from the chopper, watch the back bumper of Ryan McDaniel. Just barely missed him. And this time, almost everybody is coming in. Matthew Logan, Brian Hewitt, Kirk Marble, and Devin McDonald all stay out. CJ Jeffries also stays out. Everybody else is in. John Nichols wins the race off pit road. You know, seeing how close that incident was with Ryan McDaniel, historically he'd have been caught up in it. Has the bad luck, has the curse finally broken? We finally saw Brian Hewitt back in victory lane this week. Could the Ryan and Brian show become those two in victory lane rather than taking each other out? All right, everybody stacks back up for the restart. Matthew Logan, Brian Hewitt, Devin McDonald, Kirk Marble, and John Nichols, the top 5. Cody Burke, Nicholas Johnson, Chad Ragsdale, Cody Kennedy, and Mark Dantuma round out the top 10. All right, pace car dives in. The green flag flies again. Matthew Logan away like a bullet. Looks like Hewitt may have had problems getting the power down. Hewitt has slipped back to 4th. Cody Burke now back up into 3rd with John Nichols on his bumper. But Matthew Logan running away, and Logan has had a rough start to the night. Could this be the turnaround? John Nichols shoots to the bottom. It is getting dicey back mid-pack. Patrick Pieper now back into 11th. Mark Dantuma to the high side. Cody Kennedy just ahead. Richie Ragsdale just behind. Richie Ragsdale already up 4 spots so far tonight. And whoa! John Nichols sent it hard into turn 3 as Matthew Logan and Cody Burke battle for the lead. And Johnson it deep into 1. John has definitely taken full send to the limit tonight. Kirk Marble now up in 4th. Devin McDonald had that earlier incident. He is now in 5th. As a few guys continue to kiss the wall out of turn 4. Austin Roscoff starting to move forward yet again. Remember, he is topped off under the caution every time. Cody Burke has reclaimed the lead. John Nichols in 2nd. And it looks like a moment ago, right after the restart, CJ Jeffries may have had a problem. Let's take a look. CJ was rolling off pit road. The green flag was dropping. He just came to a stop. Chad Ragsdale now up into 6th. Pieper looks underneath. Nicholas Johnson right behind in 8th. Cody Kennedy in 9th. Brian Hewitt still holding on in 10th. They battled directly ahead. Devin McDonald, Chad Ragsdale battling for 6th and 7th. And man, sometimes it takes a while. Oh, Devin is sideways. And the caution is back out. And Devin managed to hold on to it. One heck of a save. Let's take another look at this incident. Chad Ragsdale right behind Devin as they come out of 1 and 2. Patrick Pieper underneath. Out of 3 and 4, Pieper gets a good run as they head back off into 1 and 2. Devin sends it deep. All right, there's Devin on the outside coming out of turn 4. Man, they are tapping all the way down the straightaway. Devin gets turned sideways, kisses the outside wall, gets it down, and manages to save it. And obviously, Brian Hewitt has good brakes tonight. Hey, good evening, MP. How are you? I'm doing great, MP. Thanks. All right, we did get some tire changes. Everybody from 10th on back has 4 fresh Goodyears. Tyler Thomas has heavy damage on pit road. He's going to be a few minutes. All right, here we go. Pace car dives in. The green flag flies again. John Nichols away like a rocket once again. Oh, Richie Ragsdale in 4th. Went a bit wide through 1 and 2. A lot of close calls back behind. And they are 3 wide coming out of turn 4. Kirk Marble gets clear with the run up top. Oh! Kirk had to back off in the middle of 1 and 2. Almost got on Richie's bumper. Alex Harper holds on to 3rd. Chad Ragsdale in 2nd. John Nichols out caution. The caution is back out. Looks like Brian Hewitt involved. And looks like this may be a multi-car incident. Brian Hewitt, CJ Jeffries, Patrick Pieper, Matthew Logan, Devin McDonald, Austin Ruskoff, all involved. Let's take a look. All right, there's Hewitt in the 119. Oh, he gets loose out of 4. Ryan goes off of him. And everybody stacks up behind. Let's take a look at Ryan McDaniel. It looked like he caught some air. He almost manages to avoid Hewitt. Hewitt comes down right in front. He gets spun back up. Devin has nowhere to go. And multiple cars, engines let go. Patrick Pieper, Devin McDonald both had to tow it in. Quite a few drivers staying out. They stack up front. John Nichols has lost a lot of ground. It looked like he was faking to pit road, or something went wrong with his pit road entry. John has slipped all the way back to 16th. Most of those drivers involved in that incident are back on track and did maintain the lead lap. As here we go, pace car dives in. Green flag flies again. Chad Ragsdale quickly away. Cody Burke, Alex Harper battle for second. Patrick Pieper was one of the drivers. He had to tow it in. He is coming back out. As we had a 3-wide battle down the backstretch. Now down to 2 between Brian Hewitt and Cody Kennedy. Brian Philbrick and Richie Ragsdale. Oh! Ragsdale gets loose, but manages to save it. Matthew Logan had a little problem out of turn 2 that time, but is still in it. John Nichols all the way down to the apron through 3 and 4, trying to fight his way back to the front. There is a trick to run that bottom, run that apron around here, and move your way forward. I've only seen 2 drivers do it successfully. But if you can make it work, man, you can make up a lot of ground quickly. Brian Philbrick now up in 4th. Matthew Logan in 5th. Richie Joplin, Mark Dantuma battle for 6th. Nicholas Johnson looks underneath. As Cody Burke goes on the attack for 2nd. Down the back straightaway into turn 3. Chad Ragsdale got a little help from behind. Oh, Alex Harper gets a little loose. But he does get a run on the Dominator. These three up front battling is keeping the rest of the field relatively close. Richie Ragsdale has had a problem as we've got a battle for the lead. No caution yet. Let's see what happened. There's Richie down on the bottom as CJ makes it 3 wide. Oh, CJ gets loose and knocks Ragsdale down to the inside wall, and his engine is letting go. Richie Ragsdale was able to limp it back to caution is out. And it looks like Kirk Marble involved in this one. Let's see what happened with Kirk. All right, there's Kirk down on the inside in the Monster Energy 16. Comes out of turn 4. He gets a little loose. Oh, no. Lynn comes up the track, gets into Kirk, and they both go to the wall. There was Lynn on the inside, or on the outside, as Kirk looks low. Lynn and John Nichols get together. Kirk sees the outside line. Tried to make it, but his dad slammed the door. You know, I sometimes wonder with these families like Lynn Marble, who's Kirk's dad, you gotta wonder if family dinners get a little bit heated. A lot of drivers did come to pit road under that caution. Austin Ruskov, no surprise, he is giving up 10th to come in and top off. Richie Joplin now in 4th, Ryan McDaniel in 5th. Ryan took right sides only. Richie took 4 tires. Cody Burke took 4. Alex Harper, Chad Ragsdale, and most of the second half of the field, 4 tires. All right, everybody stacked up and ready to go. Pace car dives in. And the green flag flies again. Matthew Logan wastes no time getting out front. Ryan Philbrick peeking underneath. In mid-pack, wow, a few close calls and a lot of drivers kissing the wall. Brian Hewitt now up into third place. As I mentioned, he won that Talladega race the other night. Could tonight put him in victory lane again? Whoa! Nope, Hewitt's hard in the wall. The caution is out. Richie Joplin's in it. Mark Dantuma's in it. Ouch. Cody Kennedy also involved. Looks like Chad Ragsdale caught a piece of it as well. Taking a look down from the chopper, Hewitt sitting there in third. Car's getting a run underneath. Hewitt gets loose. He connects with Richie. And there you see the chaos pop off. Cody Kennedy also had one heck of a wild ride. There you see everything popping off. Cody tried to get low. Man. Cody Kennedy had to toe to pit road. Everybody else managed to limp it in. Fortunately, Mark Dantuma still had a fast repair. That car took significant damage. Matthew Logan, Ryan Philbrick, Nicholas Johnson, Cody Burke, and Alex Harper, your top five. Chad Ragsdale, John Nichols, Ryan McDaniel, Joshua Rudolph, and Kirk Marble round out the top 10. Worth noting, John Nichols had that problem on one of the previous cautions, sent him all the way back to 15th. He has fought his way back to 8th. I don't think we're done seeing John Nichols at the front yet tonight. And folks, it's flat track, high-powered racing, but you can still hear a lot of noise, especially if you crank it up. Now when the green flag drops, I'm going to shut up, let you guys crank it up, listen to all that power. Pace car is in. The green flag flies. Crank it up, y'all. That is a beautiful noise to hear. Laps to go here at New Hampshire. The drivers will have to make one more stop for fuel. Cody Burke has shot back to the lead, but Chad Ragsdale in second. And look who's back up to third. John Nichols still on the attack. John trying to clear so he can go back on the attack. He finally takes third. Wow. Things got a little squirrely out of two. Alex Harper managing to hold on to it. Man, it is getting tight through these turns. Chad Ragsdale has second for the moment, but John Nichols has a run. Nichols has been one of the fastest cars all night long as he goes to second and sets his sights on the Dominator. Kirk Marble now up into 8. Nicholas Johnson up into 6 in the middle of a 3-wide battle. Oh, Kirk gets into him out of 2. Caution is out. Ouch. Kirk Marble has towed it to pit road. Nicholas Johnson still on track. There's Kirk Marble looking underneath Nicholas Johnson as they go through 1 and 2. Kirk running the apron line. But as he gets back on it, pushes up, gets into Nicholas. Both drivers smacking the inside wall. Cody Kennedy having a rough night tonight. Cody, you definitely had a good run going, buddy. That was rough. Did you see John Nichols dropped into pit road? They are about 2 laps shy on fuel. Nichols is taking tires. Cody, you definitely had some peculiar moments. This race has seen a few oddball moments. And while we're under caution, folks, I'm going to ask a question. We'll probably put a post on Facebook, but would you guys like to see a playlist on YouTube with just the crank it up laps? Several drivers just ducked in. Austin Ruskoff, Mark Dantuma, and Patrick Pieper. Brian Hewitt still sits on pit road. What a heartbreak for Hewitt. He had one heck of a fast car tonight. Alright, here we go. Pace car dives in. And the green flag flies again. And as of that green flag, everybody is within the fuel window. The question is, the guys that came in and topped off a moment ago, oh, we've got a wreck out of two. Ryan McDaniel caught up. The caution is back out. And Ryan was having a good run tonight. Let's see what happened. There's Ryan in the 69 car on the bottom. Oh, he got loose, tried to save it, and snapped to the outside. Taking a look down from the chopper. He has a good run. He just snaps loose, almost saves it. Man. The second half of the field has come in, led in by the Dominator. He'll slip back into 10th, putting Chad Ragsdale in the lead. Chad Ragsdale, one of the drivers that is kind of close to elimination tonight, as was Devin McDonald. Devin currently runs in 5th. And of the 4 drivers we talked about before the race that were up for elimination tonight, only Kirk Marble is in the field, and he is out of the race. So Devin McDonald and Chad Ragsdale are safe. Kirk, you definitely had a rough night there, buddy. All right, here we go. Pace car dives back in. And the green flag flies again. And Chad Ragsdale away like a shot. Actually opening up the door for Richie Ragsdale as he tries to take second. And look who's right behind yet again. John Nichols back up into 4th. Wow, Nichols on the attack. He sends it down to the bottom, takes 3rd, and goes for 2nd. He may take that. John Nichols now back into 2nd. Sets his sights on Chad Ragsdale. The Dominator back up into 6th as he comes by Mark Dantuma. CJ Jeffries also starting to make a comeback. CJ back up into 10th. And looked like a moment ago somebody had their brakes locked up, but everybody still pointed the right way. John Nichols has the lead, Chad Ragsdale in second. Matthew Logan was in third, but here comes the Dominator. And the caution is back out. Scott Roney and Patrick Pieper involved. Now, anybody that comes in this time is within the fuel window. And we're definitely going to be putting out a bunch of race shorts this week. All right, let's see what happened with Scott Roney. Patrick Pieper underneath. Oh, Pieper just comes up and clips him. And it looks like somehow Pieper manages to keep it out of the wall. That's one heck of a save. John Nichols reclaims the lead. My apologies, give me just a moment. My apologies, I have something stuck in my throat. Hopefully I've taken care of it. All right, they stack back up for the restart. Pace car dives in. The green flag flies. John Nichols away like a bullet. Ryan Philbrick had a close call in third. Now Nicholas Johnson may get a run. Mid-pack, a 3 wide. Cody Burke, Lynn Marble, CJ Jeffries. Richie Ragsdale got a little squirrely out of turn 4. Does manage to hold on to it. John Nichols out front trying to run away. And Cody Burke is back up into 5th. Chad Ragsdale around out of turn 4, no caution. Cody Burke just set the fastest lap. And let's see what happened with Chad a moment ago. Chad runs right up to the back bumper of Lynn Marble and just gets loose, just barely kisses the inside wall. $18 laps to go. John Nichols pulling away out front. But here comes the Dominator. He took his last set of tires under that last caution. Alex Harper as 3rd, Philbrick in 4th, Matthew Logan in 5th. Biggest mover of the night, Nicholas Johnson, up 15 spots into 7th place. John Nichols still in the lead, but the Dominator has almost got him. Cody on those fresh tires. How long can John hold him off? Everybody behind losing ground as the top 2 pull away. This is going to be one heck of a battle. John kissed the wall coming out of turn 4. Burke looks underneath. Inches apart through 1 and 2. John still trying to fight up top. Trying to keep Cody pinned down. Cody a little squirrely out of 4. But he takes the lead with 13 to go. Mark Dantuma just moved into the top 5. Nicholas Johnson up to 8th. Lynn Marble having a great comeback now in 9th. As Austin Ruskoff, Devin McDonald, and CJ Jeffries battle for 10th. Excuse me. John Nichols has been one of the fastest cars all night long. He has an almost 2-second lead over third place, Alex Harper. Lynn Marble now up into ninth, pulling away from the battle behind. Richie Ragsdale, another one, having a great run tonight. Up 9 spots into 7. Matthew Logan has survived a lot and pulled up into 6th. As Mark Dantuma looks underneath, has a battle with Ryan Philbrick for 4th with 9 laps to go. Cody Burke now has an almost 1-second lead over John Nichols. Mark Dantuma now into 4th. Philbrick slips back to 5th. Mark just behind Alex Harper. But it does appear Dantuma has the fresher tires. Another driver who's had a rough night tonight, Joshua Rudolph, has been caught up multiple times, still in the fight. Chad Ragsdale was really wishing for a caution out of turn 4 when his incident happened. He is now back in 15th after running top 5 all night. Alex Harper, Mark Dantuma, Ryan Philbrick, all nose to tail. 5 laps to go at New Hampshire. As Mark Dantuma looks for 3rd. Didn't get clear, couldn't move up. This will be a drag race. Good night, Tina. We'll see you tomorrow. Mark Dantuma finally clears into 3rd. Cody Burke's lead continues to extend over John Nichols. Mark Dantuma in 3rd, 3.7 seconds back. John Nichols should be able to hold on to 2nd. From here, he has certainly earned a great finish here tonight. 2 laps to go for the Dominator. This will be his 17th win of the year and his first win in the playoffs. And here he comes. White flag one more time around for Cody the Dominator Burke. He has had an up and down night all night long, but always managing to fight back. He played the strategy perfectly and started on the pole. He'll end the race in first. Cody the Dominator Burke wins his 17th race of the season at New Hampshire. John Nichols, a hard-fought battle, comes up home in second, and Mark the Man D'Antuma comes home in third. And let's see if we can get a word with our top 3. Starting with third place, Mark D'Antuma. Well, Mark, you nailed the strategy on that one.
Yeah, I just did what Cody did. That kind of seems to work out most times, so it definitely did this time.
It definitely did, and man, it looked like a mistake taking tires so late. You lost a bit of ground on pit road, but man, the comeback was impressive.
Yeah, those new tires, just with 25 to go, that was the perfect move. This thing was hauling anchor with Navy Joe Coffee, and just managed to pull that top 3, that podium.
Well, you did get it done once again tonight. A heck of a run. Great to see you back out on track, and great finish.
Thanks, Doug.
John Nichols come home in second. John, I honestly, I don't know what to say, man. You definitely earned to be in victory lane tonight. That was a heck of a race.
That was a lot of fun. Did a lot of learning on the track today. Drove very differently since the last time I raced it.
Well, it definitely showed you had something figured out. You were checking out up front, came through the field without a problem multiple times, and you had everything dialed tonight.
Yeah, just should have made a slightly smarter decision on when to take tires. Previously here, you could go about 60 laps on a set of tires before your lap times really started to fall off. So I thought 30 to go was plenty of time, and Cody was going to be too far back taking a set of tires late. So he got through the field about as good as I did, it looked like, and just had nothing for him. So it was a great strategy call for second place.
Well, it definitely was, man. I honestly, at one point, thought you had this wrapped up, but still, awesome to see you on the podium, and a heck of a race tonight. Congratulations.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. The traffic made running the apron line a blast, especially in VR, looking out over my right shoulder, looking at how many cars wide we are and where I need to go on the track. It was so much fun down there.
I guarantee you that had to have looked awesome, man. Great job tonight, buddy.
Yeah, thanks so much.
And finally, our winner, the Dominator, Cody Burke. Cody, this is your 17th win of the season, but weirdly, only your first win of the playoffs.
Yeah, the playoffs haven't gone really the way I wanted it to, but I mean, I can't complain with the last 2 races. it's more about finishing these races than it actually is winning just to advance. So, no, tonight was a good one for us.
You definitely played the strategy perfectly there. I have to ask, if you and John are on equal tires at the end of the race, could you have gotten past him?
I don't think I could have gotten past them. That first run, he kind of taught me a lot where to run, especially entering one. I didn't pay attention enough in practice to see that line that seemed like it worked a little better than the middle line. I think I could have ran with them on the same tires. I think it would have been hard for either of us. I think, without being rough, I would say it was really hard to pass.
Well, you still managed to get it done. As always, you nailed the strategy perfectly and had all the speed tonight. And you go into the next round of the playoffs. Not that there was ever a question, but you do advance after tonight, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, I was a little worried after the first race of this round, but no, we got it back under us and advanced. So we'll see what happens next week.
Great job, buddy.
Thank you.
Well, Cody Burke gets it done again. Folks, don't forget, tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern, Jones BS Racing, the final season is back. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. We have a bunch of YouTube shorts coming out, so make sure you go check them out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did. I'm going to go get rid of these hiccups now. Have a great night, y'all.